we are. I have that clock out. Okay, I'm gonna test it and see if I can test it and see what I can do on that. And go from here. A little bit rusty. It doesn't look good to me. Not sure why you have such, but oh well. Okay, here we are. So the Quartz movement clock from Corvette C3 1974. Here it is. So that one is fully enclosed. Apparently, I found some information online in some blogs that you can actually take it apart a little bit after you air blown it very gently. Apparently, more using like an air can than an air compressor. You have to be very gentle. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see what we can do. Would avoid like the cheapest I found, the cheapest replacement, exact replacement is about $175 on internet. Regular price is $200 to $210 with Corvette mobs and some others. So first of all, you remove that little knob right here. Be careful with the screw, and then you need to gently pry on the center one without pressing on the small parts. You need to be very careful. So there we go. So it's a little tight. Need to pull very straight, you know, be in alignment. And then you need to pry the hour and a minute needle. So will be the minute first. Slowly pry them. There we go. So yeah, that is coming very smoothly. Here we go. That's one. Oopla, jumped. So they come pretty easily. After that, you have 3 tabs right here. This is the first one, second one, and on the other side you have the third one. So I'm gonna try to unbend that. I want to be careful because that's a micrometric screwdriver. It is not meant to do that. I will see how easy it is. Actually, it's not too bad. Bend pretty easily, so I'm just starting it with a screwdriver so I can go a little bit further. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'll try to bend that a little bit more here. It's pretty soft, so I want to be careful that you don't bend them too far either, because you know the back and forth will just break the tab. I'm just trying to go straight. Here we go. And I should be able to looks like those tabs are pressed in as well, so it doesn't go out that easily. See, it bends back. Here we go. Need to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper in. So you put some back pressure just behind the tab. It's already bent a little bit too much. Okay. Once you've done that, right here, you have one notch right here, one notch right here. You have that little tab here and that little tab here. So pretty much unbending those tabs and unbending one of the notch will be sufficient. So then you can move it at an angle. You don't need to touch the other one. Okay, that metal is a little bit harder than the other one. There we go, I got the first one. So it will be better with a needle nose. Can't find it. I think I left it at a different location. That will work. Should work sufficiently. Okay, one thing also is need to get another tool. I need to remove the back connector, little bolt in the tab right here. So I'm gonna remove that. And you have a little washer as well. Try to get it off. There we go. There we go. So this is the assembly that popped out. So I want to explain the rest in detail because it's a pretty complex system. Doesn't look like it. I'm gonna clean that part a little bit. I'm gonna try to blow a little bit of air very gently, and that's the part here you want to be very careful. See, it's linked on the spring. This is what keeps the clock working. So, and you have two tabs also that you're supposed to be able to separate right here. Okay, so I'm not sure if I will get it. It's looks like a little, I don't know if it's going to focus. It looks like almost burnt. I don't know what happened. So what I will do is I will also clean the connector just to make sure I got a nice and good contact. It's rusty, but it still looks okay here. The back of it. See the rust, the O-ring right here. You see it's really old. It's damaged. So not sure I will be able to salvage it, but at least I will give it a try. We'll go from here. I'll do a few more things. I run a little bit of air in it. I said most of the time you'll be able to get it that way, but it didn't look that dirty, to be honest, so I'm very suspicious, but we'll see. So I just sprayed a little bit of WD-40 on it because I was not able to get it going because I know nothing about it, to be honest. And check the oscillating wheel right here. I'm not sure you can hear the noise, but you can see that's moving back and forth. I barely start spraying WD-40 on it, and boom, here we go, it started by itself. Of course, to get it going, you need the spring under tension to make the oscillating wheel go back and forth. If you go right here on that side, you need to be very gentle, but you have two tabs. This is what makes contact. If there is current, here we go, they just come to the contact. The oscillating wheel actually just stopped. But you can lift that up very gently. And here the wheel should get started. See the wheel? Because the spring, that spring inside, I don't know if you see that. There's a spring right here. It is no under tension. So when it loses the tension completely, those two contacts will come together. By the way, you need to clean those. I have not done that yet. I'm going to do that. And when they connect together, you have the current going through. It will wind it again, or tense the spring. And here we go. It will keep on spinning until it's closed again. So you see, it goes very, very slowly, but you see them coming together. I'm not touching anything. You see they're getting closer just by the mechanical action of the oscillating wheel. Boom. And if I add current, that will pop back up. So you need to be very gentle, and when you do that, if you move it up that way, you want to get back to the contact, you press on that little tab right here, or actually on that side. This is just a little release knob, I don't know how you would call that, that will release a little teeth of that red gear and let the spring unwind or lose the tension. So, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to put it back together, because no, it looks like it is working. So I'm gonna put it back together. I cleaned that knob, or the little tab, the back tab, to make sure I got a clean contact. So I will air blow that very gently, clean those two contacts, and I will put everything back together. And hopefully it will work. Send it very gently, the two contacts. I'm going to put it back together. That is so cool. So when you do that, be very gentle. Most critical part is putting it back together without damaging anything. Know that you fix it. Don't break it. There we go. So you pop it back in. I'm going to put back the tab. Attach that one as well. Okay, this is properly secured. The hour goes first. The inside diameter is a little bit bigger, that's how you remember. I will line it on the 12. There we go, don't press it too low. Really put a slight pressure with my nail, actually, on two sides, up, down, left, right, whatever, and slide it on that bottom ring. I'm going to put the minute on that one, and I'm going to align on the hour and on the minute to make sure there is no difference. It's not crucial, but it's, if you want to do it right. Be very careful, I just barely touch the small side and bent it. That goes on it after you put it back and put the dashboard completely back into place. But for the meantime, until I get the rest back together, I'm going to put it on. Just so that I don't lose that part. Here we are. You see, it's very quick. Huh? It's what, couple to 3 minutes to put it back together. You go in your Google browser and put fix C3 clock or fix Corvette C3 clock, and it will pop up several blogs. The very first one you click, look for the link, and you will see a page, and the guy did that. It's just amazing the way he described that. Okay, so I'm going to test the clock and make sure it's fixed properly before I put it back in a Corvette, because I don't want to do that 5 times. So I found 2 cables, one that I connected directly on the positive, one I'm going to hold that for the ground. And I go in a mower, you go in on any battery, you don't need a power supply. I'm going to latch the positive on the plus of the battery. Going to touch, and hopefully it will. I can hear directly it's clicking, and look at the needle for the seconds is running, so it is working perfectly. So just need to make sure I got the current coming to the clock, and continue. I will check the continuity, and then I'm good to go. Okay, a couple more things I wanted to discuss about the clock repair process. Purchased a repair book, repair manual years ago. That one barely used because I use YouTube a lot myself to look at others' videos. And what you can do is at the end of that one, you have all the electrical circuits. Everything is detailed. It's pretty interesting. So I went through very quickly, like spent 5 minutes on it, and I was looking at something that will talk about the clock because I wanted to see how it was fed. And I came up to this page where you see on top clock CLK, hot at all time, and that's what I wanted to see, because initially I wanted to tap on the line that was hot at all time as well, so I can rewire the clock. I thought the wiring was wrong, but few things you want to check first. When I see the clock, it is attached to the core lazy light, and the core lazy light has not been working either. I tried to troubleshoot that years ago, never found where it was coming from, and the issue is a lot simpler than it seems. You see right here, fuse 15 amps. So that fuse is the first thing you want to check. And it might sound obvious for everybody until you find out that you never checked that and you should have. So, want to check the fuse block. Right here. They're talking about the fuse. They're showing the fuse block. And you see here on the bottom, mine is completely reversed for whatever reason. But you see right here, it says CLK ATR. So the clock fuse is right here. This one shows a 25 amp. In the book, in the electrical system, it shows a 15 amp. When I check in my fuse box, I had a 20 amps. And you see, it is clearly burned out. And when I found that, okay, this is a second issue in my clock repair. I think it seized, overheat the fuse burned, which even if the clock is repaired like I just did and put it back together, it was not working. And that was just because of that fuse. So I'm going to test it now. You remove the fuse. I have a replacement fuse. I'm going to put it back together, test it before I put everything back together, and then go from there. And the crazy light should work as well. So there will be 2 more items fixed on the car. Pretty happy. That car is going to be brand new pretty soon. It's a nice progress. Okay, let's go and test it. Okay, so you can see I have the voltmeter or the multimeter. I was checking continuity and current and voltage in my wiring. You see a bunch of wires right here. An advice before you start complicated, look at the easy stuff. Might sound obvious for some of you, but it's always easier said after the fact. But anyway, go to the fuse box. It's located right here, left side of the brake pedal. Put the light. You see the fuse at the end. Ready? Try to get a little bit closer. Right here, and you can easily read when you're close. You can read which one is what. So that's where I will replace the other one and go from here, and everything should work. Okay, to my big surprise, just barely plugged the fuse, and what is hotter the whole time, you have a light bulb right here as well. It turned on directly. The access to the fuse box is absolutely terrible, but you have 2 connectors right here. I don't know, it's not easy to see. I'm going to remove those 2 connectors right here. You have 1 connector right here. 2, I don't know if we see that very well. Those 2 connectors, remove them. The access is a lot better, and then just plug them back. And got the back, the courtesy light is working as well. That is fantastic. That's 2 more items. Now I'm just going to plug the clock and see how it is working. Okay, so let's connect the clock, make sure it is working. Put that on there. Put the connector right here. Need to ground it. And here we go. Clock is running. What a gem, so happy. Okay, so now I need to put it back together.